am Dweezil Zappa, and my guest today is the current reigning champion of Portuguese guitar wizardry, Nuno Bettencourt. Welcome, Nuno.
Wow, I almost shed a tear with that introduction because I'm trying to think of all the other Portuguese guys that I've been competing with for years.
Can you remember the first time you heard the actual Fair Warning album?
Yeah, one of the greatest places you can ever hear anything for the first time is in a car blasting a radio for the first time. Yeah, it's great at home, it's great in a bedroom, but all of a sudden when you're driving or you're in a car with your friends, when I heard the intro to Mean Streets, it was a local radio station, WAAF, I'll never forget it. WAAF basically not only we grew up on, and then had that moment, that great moment that when you finally get a record deal, you have one of your songs played on there. And I had to go on with them and talk to them about that the first time I heard it in a car, my own song. But going back to when I heard Mean Streets, I remember we had to pull the car over because it was one of those, when you think you were ready between Van Halen 1 and 2 and then Women and Children first, when you think you've already like, I don't know, is he going to retire? I mean, is that it? That should be enough. I mean, already between all those albums, he's already like hit it on the nose every time, out of the park, new ideas, you know, from Spanish Fly to all the different guitar pieces, the songs, the riffs, it just keep coming. But after even Women and Children first, you're like, I mean, what else is that? I mean, what can he do? And then Mean Streets opens, and that was it for me. Yes, I had that moment with Van Halen 1 that I told you about where you discover Van Halen and you almost discover your own culture and your own mission for the first time and your own leader and God from that period. But that was the time when I heard not only the intro to Mean Streets and I heard that percussiveness and the tapping that was happening, which wasn't as much of a surprise, even though it wasn't really tapping and pulling off. It was something different that he was doing that was odd for even Eddie. But it was when the riff to Mean Streets started, and I literally, that was it for me. For a bunch of reasons, but mostly because of the guitar sound that I had never really heard from him like that. It was a combination of, like, everybody referred to as his brown sound in those earlier albums, but there was an edge and a tightness to it. That sound, that tone, and that funk.
What you're talking about is all 100% on the money, but I think you might have been getting to the point where in that intro, the tapping thing was amazing, of course, and we should talk about that more. But the song, the riff of the song, when he lands on that G chord, is it not the greatest G chord ever played?
Every time I play that song or I've jammed with it with anybody, you literally almost sweat playing the riff in the beginning, doing a that. But when you go to hit the G, you literally pray that when you hit the G, you're still trying to hit it. Still, 40 years later, trying to hit that one stupid, simple, maybe it's 2 notes, maybe it's 3. We're not quite sure. We decipher it. We think it sounds bigger than it is. You know, it sounds bigger than, sounds like 6, 7 notes. And we keep trying to do it. And in our heads, when we do hit it right, we think we did, but we didn't.
Let's make this like a game now. Let's do this. I'll say the title of each song, and then you say whatever comes to mind first, but just short answers, and then we'll get into a little bit more detail so we can just guide people through the way the record makes us feel. We already did Mean Streets, so we're going to go to the next one, Dirty Movies.
If Mean Streets didn't touch me enough in a funk-based way, Dirty Movies, when that kicked in, and I heard that chromatic line, just that funk element against me. I know I'm calling it funk and people are going, what are you talking about? This isn't fucking Parliament. This isn't Prince. But to me, it was a rock funk that went right through me, and it was about the pocket. Dirty Movies even went up another notch to me on the album and fucked me up even more. And when I heard, so I know I'm supposed to say one word. I know we're not supposed to be talking about it, but definitely the funk, the emotion, nasty, just nastiness, the dirtiness and the heaviness of it. And, you know, everything from lyrically to like, you know, the pocket of the band, everything that just, it might have been even for a long time my most favorite song on that album. I couldn't stop listening to it. I just couldn't stop listening.
It does have a killer riff.
It made me move. You know what? It made me move. It's like physically. There's songs you listen to and there's songs that I just could not fucking stop bopping my head to. And Dirty Movies, yeah, Main Streets did that to me, but it was a lot more pizzazzy and flashy. Dirty Movies was nothing but nasty pocket to me.
Nasty pocket.
Nasty
and it
pocket.
is the first song that introduces drop D tuning to probably most of the world.
Yes, good point. I actually was going to talk about it after we got going, but technically that was crazy. When we first fucking heard that, and we were like, all right, we almost didn't know, but we could feel an anger, a frustration and angst of something that's like, uh-oh, that sounds crazy. And in my head, I'm like, did they slow? I thought and when I heard that, I thought they played the song 5-6 clicks faster and they slowed it down. So that's why it's in D. That's why the low thing is heavy and everything sounds like it's in fucking quicksand. I thought they slowed the 2-inch down.
Running with the Dweezil is found exclusively at dweezilzappa.com, a reward music powered artist site.